So I'm stuck in the pickup line for school. I don't feel like typing on my iPad. So the second question on here was, do you find your work challenging and interesting? Now that I've switched positions, yes, a little more than I would have when I was serving and bartending. I already forgot what the question was. Shit. Challenging and interesting. It's challenging for me because I have a fairly garbage attention span. I'm literally distracted by a man walking and getting in his car. It's been really hard for me to organize myself and how I handle what I do, because a lot of it has to do with details and timing and just overall being organized, which is not one of my strong suits. So it's definitely challenging. For others, it's probably not challenging. It's probably something they could do with their eyes closed. I'm not going to give a ton of details because I'm paranoid, and I'm not going to say where I work. I basically am a manager. I also handle all of our private events. So I, detail contracts and event orders for groups coming in for, corporate dinners, sometimes baby showers. I don't know, just dumb stuff like that. Do I find it interesting? It is, because it's something that I haven't done before. It's turned me on to that kind of event planning, sales, job market that I probably would not have thought of before. I mentioned the other day, I think I would love and be really good at wedding planning, except for having to deal with the brides, which is about 99% of wedding planning. So don't expect a career change. Number 3, how often do you set goals for yourself? Rarely. Formally setting goals, do I write shit down on paper? Nope. Do I make vision boards or... No, I don't. In my head, I have goals like, gosh, I really hope I get to do this year, or I can finally finish a project that I start. I guess it's always a goal not to fuck up and get fired. I've achieved that for a while. I guess if I was thinking about setting a goal, I guess that kind of ties into number 4. What goals do you have for the next year? Nothing incredibly specific. I have shit in my teeth. Ew. I would definitely like to get back to going to the gym. It's something that I was very much into and doing really well at, even a year ago. But that is probably the one area of my life that took the hardest hit with this last episode of depression. I just completely quit. It did start off kind of slowly, and then, as I got worse, my habit of going to the gym got worse, and it's just kind of one of those things that snowballs, that you keep not going, then you kind of give up on watching what you're eating, and it was probably at its worst, probably December and January. and then going through different medications that made me nauseous. They made me dizzy. They made me clench my jaw so hard it was sore. They made me extremely tired. There's so many side effects. It's just been one of those things that it's just, I can't do it right now. And then for me, I had so much confidence in the gym at the time that I kind of fell off the wagon and stopped going. So now, because I've been out so long, I have completely lost all that confidence. I feel at this point too insecure to even get myself to go into the gym. It's that bad. So it's gonna take a lot of work. I'm still trying to will myself into it. Unfortunately, my schedule is tough too. I have to be to work at 5:30 in the morning, 5 to 6 days a week. So my ability to go to the gym before work is pretty much non-existent unless I go, at 2:30 or 3 in the morning. To be completely honest, I'm pretty, tired, both mentally and physically at the end of an almost 10-hour day. Even though I am done a little earlier at 3, it's kind of just like such a daunting task to think about having to get ready and go to the gym after I've already been at work, which is ridiculous because I used to do it, 4 to 6 days a week a year ago, but right now it seems like near impossible. So it's definitely something I would like to try to get back into, maybe not 4 to 6 days a week like I used to, but at least a couple times a week just to get myself back in, because it's one of those things, like, you stop going to the gym, you notice your body's changing, then your self-confidence drops even more, and it's even harder to get yourself to go and commit to doing it. So it's just one of those things that eventually I'm gonna have to make myself do it despite how uncomfortable it makes me. Well, 5 kind of goes into that, what I just talked about. When have you given up on something? That's one of those things I gave up on. It just, I didn't have it in me to go. It was hard enough for me to, get out of bed and have to deal with just day-to-day tasks for a while, that, thinking about going to the gym, it wasn't happening. And it's so frustrating to hear people, constantly, oh, well, just, get out and go for a walk. Exercising is great. It, releases endorphins. It'll help. Just get out there, do anything. It's frustrating to me because at the time this, downward depression started, I was literally doing everything right. I was eating right. I was working out 4 to 6 days a week, for 2 hours at a time. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't, there was none of those, negative behaviors that sometimes trigger those things, depressive swings. Literally everything was going right. I didn't have relationship issues to blame it on. I didn't even have really financial issues to blame it on. When it happened, I had nothing to blame it on, and I think that's why it was so hard, because every other time in the past I've had some other outside situation to kind of lean on, saying, oh, well, I feel this shitty because this is going on, or gosh, I'm really depressed because of, when I was going through my divorce, or gosh, I'm really anxious because, this just happened. I didn't have any of that this time around, and I think it's the first time that I really realized that I've truly had this mental illness my you know, definitely my entire adult life. Anxiety, major depressive disorder. I've had full-blown panic attacks, borderline personality disorder, ADD. I don't have the insomnia as much anymore, but I did in the past. But, you know, whenever these things have happened, there's always been some sort of situation or something I could kind of be like, oh, okay, well, this is probably why I feel this way. But this time around there wasn't. So I think that's why it made it so difficult. So yeah, I think I covered up to question 5. Next one, where do you find your purpose in life? I don't know. I'll have to think about it. The pickup line should start moving here fairly shortly. So I'll see if I answer it later. You guys can see this is the, first of all, this camera is terribly detailed. I'm sorry that my Ray Liotta face is poking through. It's late in the day. This makeup is going on, what time is it? Going on almost 12 hours. Put it on at like 4:50 this morning. Also, my medication or something makes me flush in the afternoon. So my ears, my cheeks, my chest is kind of red. It was happening later at night at like 7 or 8 at night, which was nice because I was at home and didn't have to deal with it, because I really love when people ask, oh my God, why is your face so red? Why are you embarrassed? Oh my God. I'm like, no, it's just my fucking body. Anyways, that's it. So I'm gonna pick up my child and take my red ass Dumbo ears home.